DALI began in 1983, building speakers for a retail chain in Scandinavia. I joined DALI in 1991 as an acoustic engineer. Today DALI is represented in 70 countries around the world. We are considered an international brand and a loudspeaker specialist. Today we're sitting in DALI's headquarters. It's a 220,000 square foot facility. Basically everything under one roof. Many people think that quality control is about controlling the product all the time. But actually it's much more efficient and you secure much better consistency if you have control over the process. In our production here in Denmark, drivers is definitely one of the main focuses because that's where we really get the control with the processes. Cabinets is another focus. There are so many things that can go wrong in a speaker when we talk about everything related to resonances. We also take care of the manufacturing of the crossover. The crossover is to a large extent more a time distributor than a frequency doctor. Once you start having to make your crossover fix too many problems in your drivers, you address it the wrong way. That's where we really have advantage of doing everything by ourselves. So after many years, we decided to make a flagship speaker that really stood out. That became the Kore.
The Kore is a tall 330-pound speaker with two 11-inch woofers, a 7-inch mid-range, a 35mm textile dome tweeter, and a super tweeter on top that's a magnetostatic driver. The Kore woofers are balanced drive. That means they have two magnetic gaps and two coils, and also two spiders in this case. They are connected to a sandwich cone with paper skins, and they are coated by DALI with our special coating. The mid-range is also with a balanced drive magnet system. It has a corrugated paper cone with a proprietary DALI coating on top. The 35mm textile dome tweeter is a new development for DALI. The magnetostatic tweeter has an 18mm wide foil diaphragm that is focused into a 10mm wide slot, which supports our wide dispersion philosophy. Some people might call it a 4.5-way configuration, and the reason for these halfways is because we are filtering the woofers at different frequencies. There is a bottom woofer that is filtered a little bit higher and into the mid-range, and there's a top woofer that is rolled off a little earlier. And when you do that, you get like a direction of the sound a little bit away from the floor, and therefore you reduce the floor reflection. The benefit of reducing the floor reflection is that you hear more of the direct sound from the recording, and so you avoid, let's say, the coloration that you normally have.
We don't want to make a flagship speaker that transforms us into a completely different company. We want a flagship speaker that represents all the existing virtues and values in the company, just in a better way. The Kore success immediately led to an expectation about a more affordable product with a lot of the same virtues in it, and that became the Epikore 11.
The Epikore 11 has a total of 7 drivers, 4 woofers, 8-inch each, and they are configured in a similar way to the Kore, where the bottom 2 woofers are filtered at a little bit higher frequency, and the top 2 woofers are filtered at a little bit lower frequency, which reduces the floor bounce problem. The Epikore 11 has a smaller mid-range, 6.5 inches in diameter, and the same tweeter section. From the technical perspective, the mid-range here also uses the corrugation of the cone, which helps control the breakup modes, especially in the first circumferential breakup mode around 1 kHz is smoothened with this pattern. Something we call SMC, it stands for soft magnetic composite, is used in all the cone drivers, the woofers and the mid-ranges. SMC is iron powder that you compress into a metal part used in the magnet system. And this metal is magnetically conductive as it should be, and electrically non-conductive. The benefit is that you eliminate the eddy currents, and this results in lower losses and lower distortion. I'm very proud of the Kore because it brought us to a new place, you could say. But I'm equally proud of the Epikore because it brings so much from the core into a product that is more approachable.
It's very interesting with all the ambitions we had before we made these products and how well we thought we nailed it. But it's also interesting to observe how much these two products and those processes, what they have done to DALI. And that's something that will be useful for the future.